Hello, and welcome to the Cryptocurrency News channel. This is the TA chart and FA analysis for January 18th. Now, what's interesting is, Black Swan event aside, with Russia invading Ukraine, that there's always that possibility. But outside of that, it does look like the market has actually bottomed for Bitcoin. The thing is, outside of the Black Swan event, you can see today that the stock market actually went down 500 points. But despite that, the crypto market actually was positive. So even in these big swings of the stock market, we're not actually following the stock market down. But there was good news from the stock market today that Microsoft actually bought Blizzard because they want to get into the metaverse or dominate the metaverse. Blizzard, as you all know, is the maker of games such as World of Warcraft and StarCraft and a lot of other popular titles. Now, they can be really, really dominant in the metaverse. That means Microsoft is stepping into both cryptocurrencies and NFTs in the metaverse, and they're getting into the crypto world. That is one of the major tech giants finally getting into the cryptoverse. So that's definitely good news. I'm not really sure if that really helped crypto or not, but I can definitely see big things like that in the future. Technicals wise, kind of reflects that as well. We had some increased volume here during the middle of today, and that we actually went up from our bottom of about 41,200 to about 42,600, and we're actually up about 1,300 points since our bottom. But the most important thing is that, before this actually went up, we actually didn't hit the bottom that we actually hit in early January. And that's not saying like the spike bottom. I'm saying that's like the bottom without the spike. The bottom without the spike was about 40,500, and the lowest we hit was around 41,200. So we're still 700 points above like the non-spike bottom. So that means like we've had an extended period. We've actually had an extended period of bottoming. This period of bottoming is far longer than like these plateaus. And I do think like this trend isn't just completely down on this bottom, because the first part of this bottom is actually lower than the second part of this bottom. And I don't think we're going to really dip anymore, barring more Russian news invading Ukraine. I don't think we're actually going to dip anymore. You can see like, our bottom is here. This time our bottom is here. And even before the spike dip, our bottom is here. And this time our bottom is here. So it's slightly up. Now the tops still have to confirm. I think like the first head and shoulders formation was actually this little bump here, and then we went up here. But from here, we didn't actually go, we haven't actually peaked, because this peak was a little lower. So we still have to close, we still have to get above 44,500 to continue this uptrend. We need to hit like 44,500 before we drop to 40,500. So we're still in a danger zone. We are collapsing around the $42,000 mark, but a couple of days ago we were collapsing around the $40,000 mark. So it's a slight bit of an upgrade. But like this extended trough, this extended trough does kind of show that maybe we are actually starting to come out of this slump. I mean, there was this trough as well, and then we stepped down again. This trough was basically from December 4th to about January 4th. So we had like a month. But this shape doesn't quite look like this shape. And this shape is, and the current shape we're in right now, it doesn't vary as much. It doesn't vary as much. Like the amplitudes aren't as far apart. And it actually looks slightly more positive than essentially like the trough we had, the stable period we had between December 4th and January 4th. There was like one period here where we actually did get to about 52,000 that looks kind of hopeful and maybe somewhat similar to our 44,000 this month. But even that wasn't really above the previous high in this plateau, whereas the high on the 13th of 44 was substantially higher than the previous high. So the patterns are looking a little bit different right now, and I am still looking for at least a 48,000 to confirm a trend, but the first goal should actually be 44,500 or 45,000 to at least like see this plateau kind of reverse. Like I said, the Microsoft news and the Walmart news of the last 2 days were super for crypto. That shows a lot of big players actually coming in. Even if they are making their own crypto, I do think they'll be somewhat interested in Bitcoin as well. And plus, Fidelity actually said that countries in 2022, even if they don't necessarily believe in Bitcoin, will actually buy some Bitcoin for their treasury just in case. And that's a big vote of confidence from Fidelity. And let's actually not forget this giant spike down here. Essentially, like back in early December, that we went down pretty much as far as we are at the bottom of like yesterday night. So basically right now, I do think like Bitcoin is forming sort of a bottom pattern. I don't think we'll actually stay below 40,000 if we flashed it below 40,000 unless Russia invades Ukraine. And I give that about a 25-30% chance of happening. So I think the odds are we will actually start coming up at least in February. So I do think we'll come up in February unless a black swan event actually happens. And right now, I would definitely just either stake or yield farm or both. Cardano's like ISO thing is actually open, so maybe you should actually look at that. I successfully delegated today. The transaction actually just went through today. In terms of the technicals, we're still all sell on the daily. The oscillators are pretty much neutral. But the thing is, like, the SMA and the EMA are very, very close to flipping positive again. We're at 42,300. If we were at 42,900, only 600 more, we actually would be on buy on both exponential and simple moving average for the 10. The 20-30, we need to be above like 45, 46,000. And that's why that's such an important barrier. Likewise, the 50, we'd have to be around 48,000, which is the second plateau. So that's why those points are somewhat really, really important. The 50 EMA is still below the 200 EMA, so the golden cross is not formed yet, meaning the overall direction yet has not quite changed yet. But right now we are settling down, whereas like the current price isn't really super, super below the 10 or the 20. And I do think we will actually flip positive unless like something bad geopolitically happens over there in Eastern Europe. On the 1 week, we're still basically in sell territory for pretty much everything up to the 100 moving average, and that's like 2 years back. The oscillators are neutral. I'm actually kind of neutral on this time period because right now I don't know if we're going to make any big movements until February. I think like, if the Russia-Ukraine tension settles down and nothing actually happens, there's a much, much better chance that the market will stabilize and actually go up. There's a lot of bullish signals, like the legislators in America are actually moving to be more pro-crypto. The Fed's moving to be more pro-crypto. And a lot of companies are looking at crypto. And I think a lot more countries are going to adopt crypto in 2022. So weekly wise, like for the next 2 weeks, I don't really know if I would actually buy any. I would definitely keep staking and yield farming, but I don't really know if I would buy any. If you're buying for a longer term on the monthly, like if you're buying for the next year, 2 years, it's still a buy. The 10 EMA and this 10 SMA are both still negative. And we would actually have to get to that second plateau I was talking about of 48,000 or so for those to become positive. But from the 20 onward, they're all positive, but you have to go back 2-3 years. Unless we get a multi-year bear market, that's not going to become negative. So the thing is, like, I think we've kind of hit a bottom barring Black Swan event. And even in the case of a Black Swan event, I don't think it'll actually stay lower for that much longer. So that's what we have for today. Let me know what you think, like and subscribe, and hit that bell notifications button. Thank you, and have a nice day.